Hello everyone, just going to do a gentle morning flow. This can either be done in the morning or later on in the evening. So we're just going to start by just coming to sit in a cross-legged seated position. Just taking a moment to place the hands onto the knees and gently closing down the eyes, just to have a moment to relax. Just taking a deep breath in. You can either do this next bit with your eyes open or closed, but we're just going to bring the chin down towards the chest and then just slowly roll the head round towards the left. And just taking it in a nice circle, nice slow and gentle movements, nothing too much. And then get back round to the top. Then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. And just coming back to neutral. Taking both arms out towards the side and up above the head. Just interlacing those fingers and pushing the palms away towards the ceiling. And just feeling the chest start to open. Taking a deep breath in before bringing the left hand down onto the mat and just bringing the right arm over. You can either stay with your hand on the ground or you can bring your forearm down. And just taking a deep breath into the right side of the body. Just letting it all start to open. Just going to take a few deep breaths in here before inhaling back up to the centre and bringing the right arm down and left arm over this time. Just taking a deep breath in. Again, you've got the options, place either the hand down or the forearm. Remembering to breathe. And coming back up. Giving the arms a bit of a shake. Then bringing both legs out in front of you and just giving the bum a bit of a wiggle, just releasing some of the flesh from that. Bringing both hands, so having the feet out in front of you, toes pointing towards the ceiling. Bringing both arms out towards the side and up above. Hinging forward from the hips as you bring the weight forward to place either the hands onto the ground, onto the feet, or just in front of you. And just letting the body relax with each deep breath in. Just feeling the body opening up. It's okay to have your knees bent a bit at this point, as if we're just slowly starting to open up the body. And gently release them, coming back up nice and slowly. Then we're just going to take our right foot and place it on the inside of the left. So placing the right foot on the inside of the left leg. Bringing both arms out towards the sides and then bringing the weight forward. Again, placing hands either on the ground, on the foot or on the lower leg. And just letting the body start to relax. Taking nice deep breaths in. This is really good for starting to open up the hips and the lower back. Exhaling as we slowly come back up, changing over the legs, so bringing the right leg out in front and bringing the left foot to the inside of the thigh, taking the arms up nice and high above the head, lengthening up through the spine and then bringing the weight forward to placing the hands either onto the ground or onto the foot as before. taking a moment just to take a few deep breaths in. Again, it's okay if you have a slight bend in the knee as we are just slowly starting to warm the body up. Just taking a nice deep breath in and out. And then slowly releasing, bringing the hands back and coming back up. Then just crossing the legs over, we're going to bring the weight forward onto the knees. I'm just going to move back slightly and just coming up to it on our knees. You can either have your feet tucked behind you or flat on the ground. Taking a deep breath in, bringing the arms up and above the head. Interlacing those fingers and just having a big stretch through the front of the body. You can have a bit of a wiggle from side to side. Nice gentle movements. And bringing the hands back down behind the back, interlacing the fingers and just bringing the chest forward. Bringing the chin up towards the sky. Feeling the chest as it starts to open. And just taking a nice deep breath in. And releasing, giving the arms a bit of a shake. And then taking one arm back. And the other, just opening up, creating a bit of movement in those shoulders. Taking both arms out to the sides, lifting them up above the head, interlacing those fingers. I'm just going to have a few circles just to open up through the top of the body. So just going round to the right. Doing 3 circles, remembering to breathe. And then when you come up to the top for the 3rd time, we're going to go in the opposite direction. Just taking deep breaths in as we move the body. Coming up to the top, one final stretch. And releasing those hands. Coming on to an all fours position, I'm just going to change how I'm on the mat so you can see. So you want your hands to be underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Just taking a moment to find your tabletop position. Taking a deep breath in here. We're going to tilt the tailbone up towards the sky, bringing the chin up, coming into our cow. Taking a deep breath in here. For exhaling, turning the tailbone down towards the ground. Rounding through the back, tucking the chin towards the chest. Inhaling, tilting it back up, bringing the chin up. Exhaling, coming back down. Now you can do as many of these as you feel you'd like to. I'm only going to do a few just while we're doing this practice, but it is quite nice for opening up the spine. So if you wanted to do a few more, not a problem. And then just coming back to our neutral position. Just going to bring the weight forward slightly and just take it round to the right, taking a big circle, bringing the bum towards the heels as you do so. Just have a nice few circles, just opening up the body. And then in the opposite direction. If you want to, you can tuck your toes in this position because it can help to open up the feet. And coming back to neutral, untucking those toes. Now this next bit's going to be quite a bit on the core, so we go at your own pace. Taking the right leg out behind you. This might be enough for some people, but for others they may want to go a bit further. So then they can lift the left arm off the ground. And if this is as much as you can go, that's absolutely fine. If you want to extend it slightly, you can then bring the elbow and the knee both in towards the chest, rounding through the back as you do so, working that core. Remembering to breathe as you bring the arms and legs out and bringing both back down. If you need to come back and give your wrists a bit of a circle, that's fine. And then we're going to do the other side. So taking the left leg out behind and lifting the right arm up. Again, if this is as much as feels comfortable for you, you can stay here. If you want to expand on this, gently bringing the elbow and the knee in towards the chest and back out. Remembering to breathe throughout. Now we're only going to do about 3 or 4 on each side and then coming back down. And then just taking the knees out nice and wide, bringing the big toes in together and just sinking the bum back towards the heels and coming to place the forehead onto the ground, coming into a child's pose. Just taking a moment just to have a deep breath in here. This can be really good for helping to relax the body. And then just gently walking the hands back, tucking the toes underneath and just lifting the knees, walking the hands back, coming into a small squat, placing the hands into prayer. I'm just going to turn this way so you can see. Placing your hand into prayer and just taking a moment to find your balance. If you do feel that you need a bit more balance, you can place the block behind the ankle, behind the heels. That can really help some people if they do find it difficult. But if you can just try and find balance, engaging through the core and just taking a few deep breaths in. I'm just going to turn back now so you can see what we're going to do next. Going to come and place the hands onto the ground, pushing the heels down and extending the legs, coming into our first forward fold. Again, as we're just warming up the legs, you can have a small bend in the knees, but if you can, try and keep them nice and long. And just taking hold of each elbow and just gently just letting the head hang nice and loose and just having a gentle rock from side to side. Before placing the hands back down onto the mat. Taking one deep breath in here, bringing the hands onto the knees, just above the knees, sorry, and just sitting the bum back. Going to take a deep breath in and contract and tilt the tailbone towards your feet. Coming into a rounding your back as we were on the mat, cat and cow. Inhaling, tilt the tailbone back out, bringing the shoulders back and opening that chest. We're going to do 3 more of these. So inhaling, tilting the tailbone forward, rounding through the shoulders and then opening the chest. And coming forward. 1 more. Before taking a deep breath in, arms out to the side and coming up to stand. Taking a moment here, so making sure that our feet are hips width apart, We're going to place both of them right next to each other. Then take the toes out, lift the heels and come back down. This will help with your alignment to keep your feet hips distance apart throughout the practice. Now we're just going to have another look at balance. So this can be difficult for some people, but we're going to slowly start to open up the feet, placing the hands onto the hips and just coming up onto your tiptoes. So trying to engage through the core as we lift the body up. It really helps with your balance. Taking a deep breath in here if you feel you can. Lifting the arms up above the head. And just coming back down gently, bending the knees. Taking a deep breath in, lifting the arms up above the head. At the same time, coming back up onto those tiptoes. Taking a deep breath in at the top. Gently bringing the arms back down, lowering the feet, bending the knees. And inhaling, arms out to the side, up above the head. And coming up onto tiptoes. Just taking a deep breath in here before releasing the hands back onto the hips and the feet back down. Just taking the legs out, just having a bit of a shake. Releasing those feet and the legs. Now we're going to do a bit more on opening up through the hips. So remembering to keep feet hips distance apart. I'm going to lift the right leg off the ground and bending the knee. I'm just going to open up through the hip by just having a few circles, taking the leg back. Nice gentle movements, trying to keep balance if you can. And then we're going to go the opposite direction, so bringing the leg forward. Nice gentle movements. This is really good for helping to open up through the hips. And taking the right foot down. Just taking a moment to have a bit of a move before lifting the left leg off the ground and just taking the leg out nice and wide. It's okay if you lose your balance, just try and continue with the movements. Nice gentle circles. And then in the opposite direction. Bringing the knee forward. And placing it back down. Giving the legs a bit of a shake, giving the arms a bit of a shake. Taking one arm back, having a nice circle. As if you're swimming. Really good for creating a bit of movement in the shoulders. And slowly opening them up. And then bringing the arms forward. And releasing, giving them a bit of a shake. Now, going to continue working on the balance. So bringing the hands up onto the hips. There's a couple of different variations for this next pose. We're going to come into tree pose, so you can either have your foot against your ankle, you could have it on your lower leg, or if you can, on your thigh, wherever feels comfortable for you. And then just find somewhere in front of you that you can gaze at. I'm going to bring my leg a bit lower today, but find that fixed spot in front of you that's not moving. And just gaze at that spot while you find your balance, and then if you can, slowly bringing the arms up into prayer. Taking a deep breath in. Just taking the time just to take a few deep breaths in and out before gently releasing the hands. Coming to place them back onto the hips and releasing that leg. And just giving both legs a bit of a shake. Before doing it on the other side, so finding that spot where you have your balance on your right leg. Again, you've got the option of foot to the heel, foot to the ankle, the lower leg, or on the thigh. Again, I'm going to go on the lower leg. And then once you find your fixed spot and find your balance, taking a deep breath in and bringing the arms up above the head into prayer, or you can keep them at the heart centre. Taking a deep breath in. And releasing, bringing the hands back onto the hips and the foot back down. Just giving the legs a bit of movement. This next pose, we're going to take both legs out nice and wide, so feet pointing towards the corners of the mat, and then we're just going to sink the hips down, bending the knees. In this position, you want to be bringing your tailbone so that it's in line with your body, so you don't want to be too far out or too far forward. You want to be just in the middle, nice and comfortable. Taking a deep breath in here. If you can go a bit lower, that's absolutely fine. It can be a bit much on people's legs sometimes. And then we're just going to slowly bring the weight over to the right and over to the left. Just gently transferring the weight, inhaling as you move from side to side. And then coming back to centre. Toes and the toes so they're pointing towards the long edge of your mat, and just coming to stand up straight. Taking a deep breath in as you inhale, slowly bring the weight forward, hinging forward from the hips. You can keep a gentle bend in the knees if you feel comfortable to, and then when you're ready, just bringing the hands down and letting the weight fall forward. You've got the option, if you do feel you need to come and place your hands onto the block if this is comfortable for you. If you can do it without, that's not a problem either. Listen to your body and see if you feel that you need a block. It's okay if you do. Just taking a few deep breaths in and out. With each inhaling, you're just going to see if you can let your body relax and sink further towards the ground. On the next deep breath in, we're going to lift the hands up, coming to place them on the hips, and then slowly bringing the body back up, and just heel toeing the feet together. I'm going to turn back round to the side, taking a deep breath in, bringing your arms up above the head, and then as you exhale, bring the body forward into your forward fold, just letting the head hang nice and loose before bending the knees into your squat position, and then just coming down to a seated position on the ground. Taking a breath in here. Before placing the hands out in front of you, bringing the weight forward onto the knees and just coming back into that all fours position that we were in towards the beginning. Making sure that your hands are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Taking a deep breath in here. As you lift one arm off the ground, I've lifted the right one, it's okay if you want to do the left. Taking a deep breath in here, and then you're just going to bring the right hand down underneath the left arm, bringing that shoulder and ear down towards the ground, and just taking a breath in here. I'm going to turn around so you can see. You've got the option Take the left hand and place it onto the lower back if it feels comfortable to. Just taking a moment just to have a few deep breaths in and out. Two more deep breaths in here. Before releasing the hand back onto the ground, gently coming back up, taking that right arm out to the side and up above you if you can, and release and coming to place it back onto the ground. Taking the left hand this time out towards the side, if that's comfortable enough you can go just there, or if you can lift it up, that's not a problem either. And then bringing it down underneath the right arm and coming to lay it on the ground, bringing the shoulder down towards the ground. Again, you've got the option to either keep your hand on the ground or to release it and pop it on the lower back if it's comfortable to do so. Just taking a few deep breaths in here. Two more deep breaths in and out. Or bringing that right hand back onto the ground and coming back up, extending that left arm and then coming to place it onto the ground. Taking the knees out nice and wide and the big toes together and just sinking the weight back, bringing the bum towards the heels, arms out nice and long in front and bringing the forehead down to the ground. Taking a deep breath in and out. Just taking a moment here to relax, letting the body hang nice and heavy. And the next deep breath in, we're going to walk the hands over to the right and sink the body down, bringing the forehead back onto the ground if you can. Taking a deep breath into the left side of the body. Two more deep breaths in here. Before walking the hands back round through centre and over to the left, sinking the body down, taking deep breaths in and out, feeling it coming to the right side of the body this time. Two more deep breaths in this side. Before walking the hands back through to centre and then back towards the body, taking the feet out towards the right and bringing them into a cross-legged position on the mat. Taking a deep breath in here and bringing both arms up above the head, interlacing those fingers and pushing the palms away. Just taking a moment, just have a deep breath in here. You can lower one elbow down, inhaling to come back up, and the other side. Just getting a bit of movement into those shoulders. And release and bringing the hands back down. Coming to place the right hand onto the left knee, taking that left arm up above you, taking it out behind the back, opening up through the chest, and then just taking the gaze towards that left shoulder. Taking a deep breath in and out. on the next deep breath in, we're going to release and come back round to centre. Coming to place the left hand onto the right knee, taking the right arm up above you and behind you, taking a deep breath in here, and then taking the gaze towards that right shoulder, opening up through the chest. And gently releasing, coming back round to centre, placing both hands onto your knee. We're going to bring the weight down towards the left knee, then take the chest across to the right and round, creating a big circle motion. We're bringing the chest towards the knee, round and back. You're just doing 3 on each side. And then the opposite direction. Coming back to centre, just taking a moment just to close down the eyes, taking the head to the left, back through to centre, out to the right, to centre, down towards the chest, back up, and then taking it gently back. You don't want to go too far back because you don't want to cause any compression in the neck. Just slightly lift the chin up towards the sky. And coming back to centre. Taking a deep breath in, bringing both arms out towards the side and up above the head. And down, bring into prayer and down towards the chest. Releasing and back up. Hands into prayer. Down towards the heart centre. Namaste. I hope you all enjoyed that.